Yeah, well done. Well done. And it was Ollie McBurney's stoppage time goal gave Hull City a dramatic victory in the Championship playoff final over Middlesbrough. To take the Tigers back to the Prem, manager Sergei Yakurievich took over as head coach last summer. He's taken the side up in his first season in English football despite having to operate under a transfer embargo. Yakurievich shared his emotions to talkSPORT after the game.
This is like a dream come true and like one movie all this season. It's unbelievable, amazing. I'm very proud of this, our players, very happy because of them. They deserve everything since day one. Hard working, togetherness, chemistry between them. And also I think this embargo, all this situation, even close, how we call that, close each other. Stay close, like
siege mentality almost.
Yes, bring people together, and we showed very entertaining football this whole season. Sometimes we struggle there, like today, but this is in our blood. Been waited our chances, and one is Ollie McBurney scored, and that's it.
Sergei Yakurievich there, the Hull City manager. Fair play, but it's Ollie McBurney. We sat here when the Scotland squad was announced. On Tuesday, I was on with Addy and Simon and Mark McGee, and we were all going, it's a shame Ollie's not made the squad. 18 goals for Hull City this season. He's done all he can do. And we said, bet you scores at Wembley.
Yeah.
And they're up in the Premier League. Thanks to him,
Well, I can understand why Steve hasn't done that, made that selection, because already in his squad, he's got Ross Stewart, he's got George Hurst, and he's got Lyndon Dykes, all three big centre forwards who lead the line. And he's obviously stayed loyal to them and to a lot of people on the outside. And Ollie has done enough to be in the squad, that's for sure. But he's already made the choice on that. Does he need a fourth striker that's coming along that they've already got similar players in that position?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised on the Hull City winning at all because I watched them against Millwall. And what you can say is they haven't conceded a goal in the playoffs, Hull City. Two games, Millwall. Millwall didn't score against them. And then, obviously, yesterday with Middlesbrough, didn't score against them. They defended brilliantly. They played the three at the back with Adai, Egan and Hughes in a three. Did it brilliantly well. And I would say one thing. Middlesbrough fans know this because they've said it all season, is they've really missed being clinical in the final third. But they're not creating enough, and they've not had a striker that of big numbers. Whittaker's got about 14 Premier League Championship goals this season, and a lot of them were in the early part of the season. They'd lost Conway, so they look like it's so obvious what Middlesbrough need. And I think for Middlesbrough fans, being really optimistic going forward, if they solve that problem in the forward area, they'll have enough to get promoted next year.
Yeah, an incredible story for Hull this year because it was on the last day of the season last year that they survived relegation.
Yeah, I've done brilliant.
To win the playoff, wow.
We talked about it yesterday with, I think it's Jared Dublin, who has been in charge of recruitment and what they've done and the job they've done under an embargo. They've done brilliantly well, Hull, and they've rebuilt a football team. And they didn't commit too many bodies forward, but when they did, they looked more likely to score than Middlesbrough did. Even though Middlesbrough dominated possession, you got to say, they're an incredible job at Hull City. It's one of the biggest stories, as in from where they were to where they got to in one season. Mm-hmm. It's been extraordinary.
Yeah. Hull City owner Achin Ilachali praised the efforts from everyone involved.
I gave everything, especially this year. 150 days I was in England, in trainings, in everywhere, whenever something is needed. So I give my all to our fans and the team, and I think the players are special. Our coach is very, very special. He deserves to be in Premier League. So when I picked him, everybody was a little, of course, suspicious. But now everybody believes in him, and he showed us how good coach he is. I'm the one who just supports them. Of course, if you ask me who is the real heroes, the players, coach and the players.
Oh, that's the Hull City owner, Achin Ilachali there. Lovely moment seeing him hugging his family, especially as Ollie McBurney scored that goal. The relief also that you saw on his face as well.
Yeah, well, look, it's so much at stake in the Championship.
Yeah.
And getting to the Premier League that, people invest a lot of money. Fans give it their all to get to games, to have that opportunity of being in the top flight. And Hull City have been the underdog all season, and yet they've achieved a massive goal. I mean, like I said, for them to go to the playoff final and not concede twice against Millwall and then come away yesterday with not conceding against Borough, not concede a goal in them 3 games. And they were unbelievably good defensively in them 3 games.
I know. Let's talk actually about that, because look what happened to Burnley last time. They were in the Championship. They weren't conceding goals. You got up to the Premier League and...
Well, it's a different challenge.
Completely different challenge. Where can they go next? Let's speak to a Hull City fan, Will Young. Not that Will Young. Hull City fan, Will Young. Good morning to you, Will. Congratulations.
Good morning.
I will.
Thank you very much.
So come on, tell us what you did last night, first of all.
I can't really remember, to be quite honest.
You're still lashed.
I'm not in the best condition.
You look fine.
I mean, Will,
I don't feel it.
You tell us, Will, because I was going on there saying that, you know, in the 2 games against Millwall, you didn't concede a goal. You didn't concede against Borough as well. I thought the 3 at the back was superb in them 3 games. And look, there's other stars in your side as well. But it was a fantastic defensive display as well, but never really looking in any trouble in them games.
Yeah, defensively, I mean, before the playoffs, we were looking a bit shaky defensively, but Sergei changed it up from a back 4 to a back 3. And Semi Ajayi, Charlie Hughes and John Egan all had fantastic performances, I think, in all 3 ties. And yesterday in particular, they were all solid. I was very surprised just how good they were, because I thought Middlesbrough would be maybe a bit more challenging for them, but they didn't seem to really trouble them massively, apart from a couple of Strelic chances.
Yeah. I mean, and, you know, the goal itself typifies Ollie McBurney and what he's about, what he gives. You know, hasn't made the Scotland squad, but he's had a massive sort of make-up day today, hasn't he, wherever you go.
Yeah, he's done his best. Yeah.
And to be fair, he's just a really good leader of the line.
Oh, he's a fantastic character on the squad, and he's probably in terms of on the pitch, he's probably the main reason we're anywhere near this. Anywhere near the Premier League, because he's just contributed fantastically. I think it's 19 goals this season. I would never expect a free transfer to be this impactful on the club.
Yeah, I think it was the manager, Jakirovic, had said that he wanted something like, was it 14, 15 goals from Ollie McBurney?
15 goals.
15 goals, so he's gone a bit more than that. But to score at Wembley, to take you up to the Premier League, I mean, what a moment for this young man. And as we mentioned it earlier on, especially with, you know, not making the Scotland squad, and on the same week as that, to do that at Wembley, to take them up, it just must be such a fulfilling feeling.
Oh, yeah, I imagine he's on cloud 9. I mean, when you see him celebrating, it looked like it was an incredible high that he will get across again. I'm surprised he's not in the Scotland squad because of the number he's made up, but I suppose he's just proving to Steve Clarke why he should possibly be in there.
Yeah.
So tell us for the City, because Hull have been in the Premier League before. Obviously, it brings a lot. A football club can bring a lot to a city or a town where how successful the club is.
Oh, it's huge. I mean, because I've been there for a decade, and in that time, we've been down to League One, and and last season, obviously, staying up on goal difference. It's ridiculous that it's even happened, but like I say, the community as a whole, it's fantastic for the community. It's fantastic for the club as a cash injection and financially what it can bring to us. It's just I can't get over the fact we're even there, because I didn't think we'd be anywhere near this.
I think a lot of people feel the same way. You know, I'm considering you just survived relegation last season on the last day. To now be up in the Premier League is some story. It really is. You thinking about the Prem yet? Is that not crossed your mind? Are you just trying to enjoy this moment?
Oh no, I'm enjoying the moment at the moment. I'll probably when the fixture list comes out, I think that's when it'll set in.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and look, there's going to be a lot that happens. Without jumping ahead of ourselves here, what a Hull City going to do in the transfer market, how much they're going to spend. I think it's a time of reflecting, have holidays, and then sort out what you need, what you think you need going into next season to, give Hull City the best chance of staying up and, upsetting a few along the way.
Oh, definitely. I think I won't be surprised if our owner's already got a massive list of players he was going to bring in if we get into the Premier League already. He's that sort of person.
Apparently, Gabby Agbonlahor was on Achinella Chali's boat in Istanbul. Maybe he's going to.
He was. I've seen the video of it.
What's the relationship there then? I should probably just ask Gabs instead of putting this out on air, but here we are. here we are.
Not sure.
Makes you wonder, Will, doesn't it? Listen, congratulations. Go and enjoy the celebrations. Get yourself a quick cat nap and get back out and get back on it.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much.
Well done. That's Will Young, Hull fan and podcaster, enjoying the celebrations from Hull City.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, look, when he was talking there, Shebahn, about Hull City, where they were, when I joined Millwall and I left Gillingham back in the late 80s, okay, Millwall had finished just above the relegation the season before, and we were champions the next year.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. So it's happened before. Teams do, have a terrible season. The year after are the surprise package.
Yeah.
Hull City were that this season.
Look at Reggie Lebris. Last team he was at was relegated.
Yeah.
The French League. And does that with Sunderland this season. Just shows you how quickly football comes at you.